Right. So in this video, we'll talk about the preparing master image for creating desktop pools with View Composer linked clone. So first, log into vCenter server. vCenter server. Second, log into vSphere client. Log into vCenter application using vSphere client or web client. Web client. So I'm using a vSphere client 72.11. So which is your vCenter server here, 72.11. 72.11 alvhn/administrator account. Right, so now we logged into the vCenter application using a vSphere client. So check the Windows 10 custom specification template is available. If not available, create a one. So I'm going to the home. I'm going to the custom specification manager. So here I can see the Windows 10 specification template. If not available, create a one. New Windows machine. Give the name as a Windows 10 specification one, whatever the specification. Your name, acute organization. Computer name, select, use the virtual machine name. So we have to ensure that you have selected the use the virtual machine name. Windows license, you can give it. You can set the password, whatever the one which you want to set it. And time zone, you can set it as per your time zone requirements. Run once, nothing. Network, typical. Work group domain, work group. Operating system, generate a new security ID and click next and finish it off. Now we can see Windows 10 specification 1. Because once the Horizon initiates a deployment of the virtual desktops, it needs to customize it. So we are going to use this one for specification. So let me check this one. What is there? Yes. Okay. So I'm just deleting this to avoid a confusion. So we have Windows 10 specification, custom specification template. Okay. So next step, select the virtual machine. That is in my case, VM2. So in case I'm using a VM2, so as a master image or a master VM or a template. So select the VM, power on a virtual machine and power on. Something it is asking you, caution. Chart manager, nothing is there. Getting virtual machine message might have been moved or copied. I'm saying it. I copied it. So in the master VM, make sure that we have a VMware tools installed, all the patches updated, then disable power options, then disable Windows firewall as per our requirement, or open the necessary ports, then install the necessary apps required, then install Horizon agent, and before that we just need to enable PIPs. So install Horizon agent. So I'm logging into the virtual machine, and as you see, the virtual machine is run off out of date VMware tools, no problem. So as we have configured a DHCP server, so it will get an IP address from the one, and this machine need not to be part of the domain, so it should be into the work group. First, let me upgrade the VMware tools. Setup.64. So if the VMware tools is not available, you install it. If it is older version, then you upgrade it to the newer version of it. And some typical install. So finish and reboot the machine. Now next step, let's go to the control panel, go to the power options, change the plan settings, turn off the display, never put the computer to sleep, never. Make sure that they are into this one. Then go to the security, Windows Firewall. Make sure that the Windows Firewall is being disabled. So now we are not deploying any applications into this. Okay. We are just creating a base machine with a base OS. So now I'm doing FIPS. So open the MMC. Add remove snap-in. Group policy object. Okay. So local group policy object. So enable security settings, local policies, security options. Enable this. So okay. So we enable the security settings for this one. FIPS enabled. So we disabled power options. We installed VMware tools and we have all the patches updated. We are not installing any applications into this one. We enabled Fs. Now we have to install the Horizon Agent. Copy the Horizon Agent software if it is not available once you download it. So I'm going to the C drive. Let me check Horizon software. I can see the Agent folder. Agent 7.10. Install it. Let me GP update. So click on next. Accept the licensing term. So here operate without FIPS compliance, enable it. So it should comply with the FIPS because everywhere we are making it a FIPS compliance. Then make sure that you have a view composer component is being in this feature and all sub features will be installed on the local drive. So rest all, you can select the one. I can say VMware integrated printing. Then you can select the personnel management, as we would need these features as we go on. Right. So just select the features, Horizon 7 personnel management. Then integrated printing. View composer. Right. So I say next. Let's say VMware integrated printing is enabled. So I don't need this feature, just select it because the printing is being enabled. So click on install. Right. So finish and restart it. So once after installing the agent, restart it. Let's log into the machine. So that it makes all the necessary changes post reboot. So wait for a minute. Right. So now I'm just shutting down VM. Shut down the VM. Sixth step, shut down the VM. Seventh step, create a snapshot. So I'm just saying snapshot, take a snapshot. I'm saying base VM hyphen linked clone. Base VM hyphen linked clone. Right. These are the sequence of steps which we need to perform in preparing the master VM. Now let's look at the how to create a desktop pool. That is dedicated linked clone desktop pool. So first log on to connection server, launch administrative console, create desktop. So I'm going to the server 1 connection server. This might have been expired, so let me reopen the session. So let me go to the connection server 1, launch the console, launch login. Right, now we have to create a desktop pool. So go to the catalog, we see desktop pools. Now go to the add desktop pool. So automated desktop pool, dedicated, enable automatic assignment. We can say install clone, vSphere linked clones. So view composer linked clones. Select the view composer linked clone, select the vCenter. Next, ID. So I'm just giving a finance, dedicated linked clone, just for easy understanding purpose. So you can just say linked clone LC. I'm saying dedicated linked clone desktops. Click next. Select the power options. I'm saying remote machine power policy, ensure machines are always powered on so that it can save the time, and whatever the policies which you want it, you can basically set. So use the naming pattern. So it's going to deploy the machines. So what is the name of the virtual machine format? I'm giving finance -n. So N will start for sequence of 1. I am saying 3 virtual machines. Number of spare machines 3. Keep the 3 spare machines always. Click on next. Provision all machines upfront. So immediately it is going to provision it. And we can see persistent disk and disposable disk. Keep it like that. Storage optimization limit. Now it is going to ask you vCenter server settings. By using this to master image and snapshot, which we want to do it. Click on browse. Select the VM2. Select the snapshot which we created on the master VM. VM folder location. Select the discovered host and data store. Select the CLU. Resource pool. Select the CLU. Select the data store. So I'm just show all data stores including local data store. Select DS13 and DS14. DS13 and DS14. So it will give you a warning as we are selecting the local data stores. Okay. Click next. The rest all leave the at the section called as a guest customization. Use a customization specification subscribe, and the one which we created custom specification template, just select that. Click next and say finish. So this would go for roughly around 20 to 25 minutes of time. Now let's check that how the progress is going on. Shift to the vSphere. Here we can see the sequence of activities which it is going to perform, which you can monitor it during the process of it. Now the Horizon connection server will interact with the Composer. Composer will interact with the vSphere and will create 3 virtual desktops and will customize it and will label it. So let's wait for this to finish. As we can see now, it's cloning a virtual machine and it creates a replica. Just go to the desktop pool, double click on this one to open. Go to the inventory and check the so now we can see Finance 1, Finance 2, Finance 3 machines, DNS name, and the on which particular host they are available, agent version, still data store, and refreshing, maybe provision state. So it is saying agent unreachable. Okay. So it's saying startup. We have to wait for a couple of minutes. Now we can see Finance 1 7.10.0 available. So the other 2 machines also should come to an availability state. Right. We can see the Finance 3 is also came into the availability state. Right. So now the View Composer has deployed 3 virtual desktops and automatically it has customized it. Let's go to the vSphere. Yeah, we can see the sequence of steps. We can see Finance 1, Finance 2, Finance 3, which are available. computer name Fin-1. It is automatically customized and powered on these 3 machines. So this is how we can basically deploy a desktop pool or create a desktop pool with automatic, dedicated, and linked clone. So we selected the desktop pool with automated. It means that automatically the Horizon should create the desktop, and assignment is dedicated. Every user will get an individual desktop, and the deployment method, the desktop deployment method is a linked clone. Right. In the next video, we'll look at that. How do we assign the desktop to the users and how we can test it.